I'd like to ask John, first of all, can you give us your take on this question? Are they the same? If not, how do they differ? Do they occupy different territories? Are there different processes involved? Is there a different vocabulary in each case?
I've got kind of two takes on that. One is very personal because I've been involved for so long with clown and with impro, not necessarily together, but they're the two loves of my life. So I find it very difficult to disentangle them because personally they've just always been there. But I know that looking at clown, which is where I focus on my own work, I mean, drawing back from what we've just been seeing and what we've been doing, and particularly what we've offered as clown work, I'd say that clown, as it is eminently using the audience form, it does rely on a very direct relationship and declared relationship with the audience. Let's say 50% of what clown is about that relationship. That has to be improvised because as any relationship with any live audience has to be improvised, even if it's not declared. So it's at least 50% improvisation in its moment, in its real theatrical moment, which is for these people in this space at this time. But then there's the other part, if you like, which we could simplify, it's called the content, the show, which can be improvised, obviously, but historically, and usually, it's not clown. In fact, it's historically usually extremely complex and complex in the sense of it's kind of studiously worked out. Obviously, those two kind of overflow to each other, but that's the kind of doesn't really relate to what we've been doing here because our research this year has been about the first bit, which is the impro bit, and that's how we've tried to present or to experiment with just that, the presence, how it feels to clown in front of the audience, without worrying about what it is. So that's my thing. So I think clown's got somewhat mistakenly associated with improvisation over the last 50 years, or perhaps, well, since Copo really, but since Lecoq's association between play and clown. I think that's something I'm interested in. Surprisingly, in counteracting. So I'm actually on an anti-impro crusade in clowning.
So are you saying that there's a body of material in a way, which is kind of traditional clowning material?
Yes.
And that the improvisation is about the relationship with the audience,
yeah,
and how that material is played with.
And that contemporary clowning has picked up on that improvisatory quality. Partly because of the historical moment, partly because practitioners like Jacques Copeau in the 20s said, oh look, these clown, the Frattellinis are amazing, they improvise, they're perfect actors. But when he looked at how they did it, this is rigid, this is formulaic. And later, in the 60s, Jacques Lecoq again picks up on clowning. This is subversive, you know, I mean, this is the only class that continued in May '68 in Paris was Lecoq's class, you know, because he said, yeah, okay, you run the class. And clowning in that particular school, you know, came to mean, hey, let's do what we want. So, which is a kind of simplistic version of definition of improvisation.
But what is the problem of essentially taking the spirit of clowning and clowning with other material other than traditional clown material?
I'm not talking, well, I'm not sure what you mean by traditional clown material.
Well, you've said that there's a kind of body of material which is traditionally associated with clowning.
I think you said that.
Did I?
Yeah.
You did. Boxed you in the corner.
No, the content,
yeah,
to simplify,
the content
of clowning has historically been and still is not improvised.
Sure.
If you look at, if you say, okay, that's clown, that's clown, that's clown, all those examples of clowning, how many of them have improvised content? Nearly none of them. But contemporarily, we're saying, oh, clowning, improvisation, play. Yeah, it's a strange thing.
So,
okay, yeah, let's have some other questions or comments.